Hello everyone, welcome to this video. This video is going to walk you through on how to set up your environment. This is basically for database students, but it will help you in your introduction to programming courses and other courses. So what we're going to do is in this video, I'm going to walk you through how to get a web environment up and running and how to use your database with PHP, how to install the service, the web hosting service for the application that we use for Point Park. So one of the things is if you go to the it.pointpark.edu tutorials, it has these requirements. It has the sudo, and these are all in the right order, but some of them you kind of mix and match. And there is a lot of confusion when students are establishing this. So I'm going to walk you through steps on following a video that may be a lot more useful for future students and current students who are struggling. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm using an Apple computer, so I could use Terminal. So if you're using a PC, I would recommend that you use Putty to log in. So I'm actually going to use one of my students' account who he had a lot of trouble setting up his environment. So I just kind of refresh his environment. I'm going to start it from scratch so that we could actually go ahead and use an account to show you how to do it. Okay? And I will follow the directions on here and we'll just go back and forth. Okay? So let me actually move these guys over here and then I'll do that. All right, so I'll start off with SSH. Oops. ALBUGAMI. I think that's his username. At ALP. T.pointpark.edu. So I'm going to sign in. All right, perfect. That's a way to start it off. All right, let's try this again. All right, at least I got the username right this time. Okay, so I am now into his account. All right, so the first and foremost is, let me pull this back up. First and foremost is I need to make sure that I could do sudo. So I always tell people to start here, even if you know that you have this installed, just to make sure. So if you type in su, make sure that it knows what su is. But for the heck of it, I'm going to install the package. I'm going to do package install sudo. It should already be on here, but if there's something to update, it's not going to. It's already installed. It's not a big deal. So I'm going to exit. But it's a step that I don't have to go back and take. All right. So the next thing is the nginx, which is a web server. It's free. So the steps are pretty straightforward. So I'm going to copy this sudo command here. And I'm going to go in here and paste it. It's going to ask you for your password. Ask you and says just to make sure who you are. So enter the password in. Password's Mickey Mouse. Just kidding. And you're going to type in Y. What you're going to do is it's going to install these packages and hit enter. Perfect. Then you're going to go down here and you're going to enable a setting. And I'm going to do paste right here. Perfect. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start the service, which is the web hosting service. So I'm going to come in here and hit paste. And it shows everything's okay. So let's actually see if it works. It might have something up and running to show you that it did work. Let's see here. ALBUGAM. That's it.pointpark.edu. All right, perfect. So you should get this once you just do those silly steps right there. So those initial steps should get you this right here. Welcome to nginx, which is a web hosting. Now right now it's just using something locally. We will make changes as we progress with this video. All right, so this right here is the configuration file, which I'm going to actually move back off the nginx and go back here. I'm going to go over to PHP because we're going to have to, not PHP, sorry. Let's see here. Not there either. the next step is we're going to install, as you see where I'm at, I'm going to install this package right here, which is PHP ODBC package. So I'm just copying and pasting. And ask me, do I want to install it? Yes. Perfect. Then I'm going to go over here and install this package. And it's going to ask me, do you want to install this? Absolutely. Beautiful. Alright, so now the configuration file, this one's a little confusing. And now I'll show you what you want to do. They have some, it has instructions here and it shows you this is what you want. And this is the part that gets really confusing. This is a very important step because it basically, runs your whole entire project and make sure that everything works. So these things have to be in place. If there's something there, you'll just watch, we'll comment some stuff out and so forth. So I'm going to highlight this, copy it. I'm going to hit paste. All right, so you should get this right here and you'll get some information. Hashtag just means that you're commenting stuff out. So we're going to comment some of this stuff out and leave some stuff in place. Do that there. Just kind of go down here quickly. Alrighty. So we have server here. So we do have server, and server is going to stay in place, but we're going to just change some stuff around here. So listen 80 port, that's your web hosting port. Default port usually 8080, whatever the case is. I'm just going to hit enter here, and I'm going to type in, what we want to do is type in your root name. So I'm going to do root / home, and then you'll want to put your user ID. For this person, I'll put his user ID, AALBUGAMI, and I'll do / www. There you go. All right, this server equals localhost. I'm going to hashtag that out. I don't need to use this. So I commented that out. All right. Let's see here. This looks fine. All right. So now we're going to make a change to this. We're going to change this around a little bit, the location. I'm going to do a space. I'm going to do a tilt. It's shift and the key before the number 1. I'm going to use an asterisk here for everything. I'm going to take this backslash out and actually put a backslash instead of a /. All right, so we got that. Make sure that's good. I'm going to do a .php dollar. Oops, not that. Wrong key. .php $. And then we have this right here. Now this root right here, I'm going to comment it out because I don't need it. Same thing with this. I don't need it. I'm actually going to copy and paste this code from over here. Oops. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste these files here. So I'm going to copy this. Right click, copy. And I might have to fix this up a little bit. Paste it in there. Perfect. So now that looks good. We're also going to add our root information at the bottom as well. Oops. So I don't know why I have these funky things in here. I don't know. These carriage return marks I don't want. All right, so I'm going to put root / home / just like we did up here, AALBUGAMI / www. Perfect. Do a space there. All right, good. So now I'm going to go down here and see what we have. I'm going to comment this out. And this, leave this here. Alrighty, leave that there. And then there's going to be another curly brace here. And we're going to comment that out, or at least take it out. Alright, so I'm going to purge that, or just hashtag it out. Perfect. I'm going to hit escape key. It's going to ask you if you want to leave editor. You say yes, and then you're going to do save changes. Alright, so the next step is we need to see if that file worked. So there's a lot of times when you do that, you have to make sure the file works and it's formatted properly. I'm going to go in here and paste it. We want to restart the service. All right, so this is what we want. We want the configuration is okay and is successful. What that just means is the file that we loaded, it compiled and it looks fine. So now we're going to move on to another step. So now what you can do is you can serve the PHP files with your root. So what we're going to do is sudo into this configuration file. Now this one is a little confusing because we're going to do some changes here and we're going to do changes on another page. So I'm just going to do all the changes at once and show you maybe a little bit easier way of doing it. Okay. So let's copy this and I'm going to do paste. Perfect. So the first thing that it wants me to do is copy this and put it down at the bottom of the line. But since I've did this multiple times, I'm actually going to copy this and create a new page here and show you what I mean. Do paste. There is another step that happens before that. So I'm going to go over to this link right here. And what it wants me to do is it's going to look for something that says listen equals this and change it to this. So since I've did this many times, I want to make sure that I get everything on one time. So I'm going to copy that. So you could do a search, you could do an escape. You could come down here and do F and you can actually search for something. But I'm just going to go down here by using the down arrow. And the first thing I'm going to look is for that listen. The semicolons just means that it's commented out. See if we're making good timing. We are. All right, here we are. So I'm going to do a semicolon there. I'm going to come down to the next line. I'm going to paste in that location, which is just pointing to our socket file. Not a big deal. Now I'm going to look for these guys right here, which is this step right here. It says look for this and uncomment it out. See, what I'm doing is trying to prevent the amount of times I would come in here. All right, so I'm going to put the cursor there, backspace, backspace, backspace. All right, so now I'm going to go back over to this location. Wants me to add this at the end of the file. So I'm just going to scroll down here, there's a zillion lines here. So you see what we're doing is we're just nipping everything in the bud at this point. Just knocking it out at once. All right, see how we're there? Now I'm going to scroll over to the right and hit enter. Perfect. I'm going to paste that guy in there. Perfect. I'm going to hit escape, leave editor, save changes. All right, perfect. So now I'm going to go over here and hit restart, copy this, paste it in. Ta-da. Oh, cannot restart. Why? Oh, okay, so here's a step. PHP enable has to be enabled. So that's a good step to do. So that would be over here. So I'll copy this line right here and I'll sudo that in, paste. All right, so now I'm able to yes. So I'm gonna hit the up arrow on my keyboard again so I can restart it. All right, so it shows that everything was successful in the restart. So now what we need to do is we need to go back here and we need to sudo and open up a configuration file. We need to set a configuration file for ODBC. So I'm going to do a paste here. There's nothing in it, which is normal. I am then going to copy this information right here. ODBC information. I am going to paste it in here. I am then going to hit escape. Oops. Leave editor and save changes. Perfect. Now we need to again try to install the driver. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. So I'm going to hit edit paste. Perfect. So that time it worked. It driver was installed. It changed that count to 11. So if we actually went back into that right here, you would see now it's 11. So I'm gonna hit escape and exit without making any changes. All right, perfect. Now, last step is we need to do the ODBC source. We need to add this information in here. Okay, so copy, HSD is our source for this information. So I'm gonna hit paste. And then I'm going to just copy this. It's best to copy and paste instead of trying to, type it in. All right, I'm gonna hit escape. And what it's doing is pointing to our local host. Port is 3306, database is HSD. So if you ever wanted to use a different database, you would have to come here and change the database link. And I'm gonna hit leave editor, save changes. Perfect. All right, so we got that. Now we'll go back over here. We got all this information here. So let's go ahead and copy this and start. Perfect, so it's already running. Now, another thing that we need to do is go into LS. And this is a step that's a little confusing because it's not out there and it's not easy to know about. So let's do this. Go to creating a home page. And what we need to do is make a www directory. So I'm going to do a pwd and see where I'm at. All right, so I'm going to do a clear. I'm going to do a mkdir www and hit enter. And what that does is if I do a list, it shows that I have a World Wide Web. All right, so now what I'm going to do is, where are we at? All right, I'm going to do the Emacs and go into that file, which doesn't exist, but we're going to create it. We're going to paste it here. And what we're doing is creating an index.html file. And let's copy this information here. And let's go into paste. Perfect. So we're going to replace the title information here. And we'll just put Point Park database class, and I'll leave it a hello world. Hit escape, leave editor, and save changes. Oops. All right, so let's everything. I shouldn't have to restart anything. So now let's test it out and see if it works. Now this should be gone, and it replaces with our hello world. Okay. So this is the first part of it, which helps us get involved. And so this is the first step, is to get your web hosting environment up and running. The next step will be another video. I'll show you how to take your files and move your files over using FTP and how to make changes to them so that we could display the data on the site. Okay. So thanks for watching. This is the video number 1 for how to set up your web hosting with PHP at the school. Good day now. Everyone have a good day. Thank you for watching. Bye.